In the heart of Manitoba, a little girl named Phoenix Sinclair lived a short life, filled with more pain than any child should ever know. Her story is not just a tragedy, it's a lesson, a call to action, and a haunting reminder of the cracks in a system meant to protect our most vulnerable. Phoenix Victoria Hope Sinclair was born on April 23, 2000 in Winnipeg, Manitoba, to parents Samantha Kamach and Steve Sinclair. From the moment she was born, her life was in the hands of Child and Family Services. Her parents were deemed unfit, and Phoenix was taken into care. Both of her parents had previous involvement with child welfare authorities, and Samantha had a child from another relationship who was already permanently in the system. Phoenix was first placed in a temporary shelter before being placed in a foster home. In September of 2000, less than 6 months after she was apprehended, the child welfare system decided to return her to her biological parents under conditions that they take parental classes and undergo routine supervision by Child and Family Services. In April of 2001, Samantha Kamach and Steve Sinclair had another daughter together, who they named Echo. Shortly after Echo's birth, Samantha and Stephen separated, and Stephen took both girls and became their primary caregiver. Sadly, on July 15, 2001, when Echo was just 3 months old, she passed away due to what was suspected to be a respiratory illness. As of the summer of 2001, Phoenix's case had been referred to social services on several occasions. Although the agency considered Steve Sinclair to be the primary caregiver for Phoenix, she spent most of her time at the home of Kim Edwards, a family friend. The agency's file on Phoenix was closed in early 2002, but another was opened when Phoenix was hospitalized in February of 2003, as medical personnel expressed concerns regarding possible neglect. At the time of her hospitalization, she had a piece of styrofoam lodged in her nose for nearly 4 months, and staff did not know whether her father would provide her with the necessary antibiotics to deal with the resulting infection. She was taken into custody by Child and Family Services in June of 2003 and placed in the temporary guardianship of Kim Edwards in early July. By 2004, Phoenix's file had been closed again, and this sweet little girl was returned to her biological mother yet again. She was enrolled in preschool, but teachers and staff said that they never even encountered Phoenix or her mother. Now my question is, didn't they phone home? Weren't they wondering what happened? Didn't they call authorities? Nobody checked in on this little girl, and that's where our system is so flawed. Now, in early 2005, Samantha Kamach began a relationship with a man named Carl McKay. He was a man with a history of violence. Phoenix moved with them to the Fisher River Cree Nation. What followed were months of unimaginable cruelty towards this little angel. Little Phoenix was verbally and physically abused by both her mother and stepfather. She was made to sleep on a cold concrete basement floor, shot with a BB gun, forced to eat her own vomit, and she was constantly starved. Carl McKay loved to play a game with little Phoenix called Choke the Chicken, in which he would strangle her until she lost consciousness. When she fell ill, there was no doctor, no school, no safety net. She must have been so scared, and my heart broke for this little girl while I was researching this case. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about this. This is awful. Multiple reports of abuse were made, including one just months before her death. Social workers came to the door, but they never saw Phoenix. They just accepted Samantha's claims that she was out playing, and they left. Phoenix Sinclair died on June 11th, 2005. She was just 5 years old. After a savage beating, she was left to die on the floor. Once this poor baby was gone, Samantha and Carl hid her body in a shallow grave near their home, all while still collecting government-issued money for her and telling acquaintances that Phoenix was just gone. She went to live with her dad. For months, no one reported her missing. It wasn't until March 18th of 2006 that authorities uncovered the truth when they found the tiny body of Phoenix Sinclair at the Fisher River landfill. Samantha Camach and Carl McKay were arrested after trying to pass off another little girl as being Phoenix, and eventually they were convicted of first-degree murder in late 2008. The convictions were later confirmed after an appeal, and Camach and McKay were sentenced to life in prison. The horror of what Phoenix endured sparked national outrage. And I don't blame them. Like, this is such a horrible case, and she was failed seriously by our system. Like, our child and family services really let this little girl down. And I see that so commonly. It's just really sad. In 2011, a public inquiry was launched to determine how the system failed Phoenix. Headed by Commissioner Ted Hughes, the inquiry revealed the full scope of negligence, from missed visits and false reports to unchecked assumptions about her safety. The final report made 62 recommendations to reform Manitoba's child welfare system. Some progress has been made, but many of those changes are still not fully implemented. The province of Manitoba issued a formal apology stating that the child welfare system failed Phoenix Sinclair. Phoenix's short life was filled with the kind of suffering no child should know, but her legacy endures. Her name is now tied to reform, to awareness, to accountability. Phoenix was buried in Brookside Cemetery in Winnipeg, Manitoba in April of 2009. We remember Phoenix not just for her tragedy, but for the hope that her story inspires change. Rest in peace, beautiful Phoenix Victoria Hope Sinclair. Thank you for watching. If you or someone you know suspects a child is being abused or neglected, don't stay silent. One call could save a life. I'm Lindsay, and thank you again for watching Untold Crimes of Canada. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.